right, I'd like to say shalom, shalom, shalom to all
Shalom.
Israel. Shalom lakam, kol banyam, yasher Allah. Happy Feast of Blowing the Trumpets, new moon. We're in the Feast of Tabernacles. Well, we're in the memorial of blowing the trumpets. All right, getting ready for the Feast of Tabernacles in the next week or so, week and a half. All right, we are in that season, the high holy day season of the Most High, the 7th month. And I'd like to give the Most High praise and glory for his feast days and for the life and the breath and the strength that he have given us, that we could declare the words of the Most High and to bring forth his words. So, like I said, we're in the memorial of blowing the trumpets. And then today's what, 5th? 8 more days will be the Day of Atonement, which is a 13 at sundown. And then on the 18th will begin the Feast of Tabernacles, the dwelling in the booths. All right. So it's been a busy week, a nice week. A lot of things been happening over the last week and a half. Some is joyful. To me, all is joyful because it's a great sign of things to come. Right. The end of the reign of the wicked Gentile rulership is coming to an end. All right. And the time for Israel, for us to repent, get ourselves together and prepare for our reign and our dominion and our kingdom under the auspices of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. That's the glorious thing, that our kingdom is coming. And the reign of the wicked is coming to an end very shortly. Okay, this Eurocentric Gentile reign on the face of the earth for the last, I say, over 500 years. But it goes back further. But I must say, from the last 500 years since the Europeans took over this part of the world, beginning with the Spanish, right down to the Americans, right? Because it was the Spanish and the Portuguese that came over first to this part of the world that started the slave trade, right? The Portuguese and the Spanish started the slave trade from West Africa. Then the other European brothers, they're corporate, they're murderers, they are thieves and murderers and accessory, joined on the ticket of selling slaves. The British, the French, all right, the Dutch, all right, and the Americans too, the so-called Americans, which came out from the British. They all jumped on the bandwagon in the participation of the slave trade and involved of enslaving the children of Israel. And this was a well put together, institutionalized plot to destroy and to remove the name of the children of Israel, and in the process of that, establishing an imposter state in 1948. 1948 was the establishment of an imposter state by the rest of the European brothers to finalize and advance their world supremacy of a Eurocentric rulership in the earth. That's what it's all about. It's all about a Eurocentric rulership in the earth, whether they're French, Germans, British, Americans, Jewish, because the people that's claiming to be Jewish today are Europeans. They are not bloodline biblical Hebrew descendants of the ancient Hebrew Israelites. They never was in Egypt, never. And they could never show that they was in Egypt under any dynasty of the pharaohs of Egypt. Okay? You pull up any dynastic rule of the Egyptian rulership, you will never see a people looking like these people today that's claiming to be Jews. All right? So this was all a well put together plot, one of the greatest hoax that have ever been perpetrated upon mankind and humanity to establish a fraudulent state of Israel today. And this is the reason why you see there's no peace in the earth. The reason why there's no peace in the earth, because the people that's claiming to be Jews are not the true biblical Hebrew Israelite. The Bible tells you when the children of Israel goes back to their homeland, it will be peace in the earth and nations will not learn war no more. But nobody touches this subject because the whole world have been bamboozled and socially engineered to believe the lies of the Eurocentric perspective that's coming from the institution of religions, of the higher learning, of the academic, of the collegiate and all forms of institutionalized learning have been brought forth by a Eurocentric perspective, right? And today, my topic is Edom's hourglass is finally being emptied out. Okay? Edom's hourglass is finally being emptied out, meaning the end of his rulership is coming to an end. All right? And that's what we've seen in the earth today. It shouldn't amaze our people when they see these things taking place over in Israel, where Iran shot hypersonic missiles to Israel. That's beautiful. But the whole world is outraged. Oh, we condemn what Iran did. But when Israel was doing what they was doing to everybody else, nobody condemned what they was doing. Everybody gave the green light to Satan Yahoo. Okay, that's what he is, Satan. He's a child of Satan. Benjamin Netanyahu is not a child of the Most High. Okay, he's a child of Satan, and he's playing his role. All right, so I want to start off my scripture first with the Mashiach Yahushua. It's not coming up, Yahuwah? Yeah. I want to start off a scripture with the king, Yahushua HaMashiach. He's the king, and he has to get his props because his reign is coming. His rulership is coming in the earth. That's what it's all about. It's about to establish his reign, his rulership in the earth. That's what it's all about. All praises. And Yahushua is going to reign. And he's going to put all dominions and kingdoms under his feet. And this is what the European powers are afraid of. So they want to keep their rulership ruling forever and to keep us ignorant and deceived to their tricks. All right. You even got the Pope, that devil. Okay. Going around the world pushing a one world universal religion. They're pushing that all religions should become under one banner. Everybody should come under the banner of peace and love and unification of what the Pope is pushing. That's all satanic. It has nothing to do with the Most High. But people is going to fall for it because they're deceived. And people love to hear lies and smooth things. The people in the earth doesn't love truth. All right? They love to hear lies and regurgitated BS that have been pushed by the media. Okay? So I want to go to start off with my subject with Luke the 9th chapter. We'll start off with Yahushua HaMashiach. Then I'm going to go into my class. All right? Because today's class is going to be touching the flood. Oh, yeah. We're going to touch the flood that happened out there in North Carolina and Tennessee. Okay? In all those states out there. About the Iron Dome was breached. Okay? We're going to touch all those things and what happened in North Carolina. North Carolina was a strategic attack by the Most High. Okay? It was the Most High that brought the flood. I don't want to hear no foolishness of Mother Nature. Okay? Mother Nature is controlled by the Most High. And you're going to pay for that crap too, talking about Mother Nature. Okay? Global warming. You're going to pay for all these crap. You say these things because you don't want the people to know it's the Most High that's bringing his judgment. But you're going to fess up to the Most High that he's bringing his judgment upon your wicked, evil kingdom. Mother Nature and global warming. And if it's global warming, you cause the global warming, you devils. You cause it with your pollution of the earth, with your technology, with your industries. You did it. Okay? And all the other nations are following after your nonsense. Okay? So when the all is said and done and the finger is supposed to be pointed, it's pointed at you, you devils. You're the problem in the earth. You caused the problem. Those are none of the other nations that caused problem. You caused the problem with your technology. Oh, our technology, our advancement. Okay? Look at our great inventions that we have done for mankind. Your invention for mankind is destructive. Okay? It's not productive. It's only convenient, but it's not productive. It's destructive. Okay? Technology is supposed to be productive, not destructive. It's supposed to benefit mankind. All of your invention and technology is supposed to work in harmony with what you call nature, with humankind. All right? So let's go to Luke the 9th chapter. Luke the 9th chapter and start from the first verse.
We're in the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 1. Then he called his 12 disciples together and gave them power and authority over all devils and to cure diseases.
So this is the king, the master, Yahushua, the true rabbi. This is the true rabbi. Not those things you got all the time about, Rebbe, my Rebbe. There ain't no Rebbe. There ain't no rabbis. This is the true rabbi here. This is the true king. Okay? So the king, Yahushua HaMashiach, he called his 12 disciples together and he gave them power, okay, and authority over all devils and to cure diseases. Okay? And none of the diseases in the earth is going to be cured until the children of Israel are reestablished in the earth to bring forth the Most High's righteousness. That's when all diseases in the earth is going to be healed and cured. When the true children of Israel are put back in their rightful place of rulership in the earth, bringing forth the dictates, the oracles, the laws, the statutes, the commandments of the Most High to the whole entire earth. Are these imposters in 1948 doing that? They're not governing this earth by the laws of the Torah. They're governing this earth according to their parliamentary democracy, according to what America dictates to them. Okay? That shows you that they're not the people of the Most High, but the people in the earth are so deceived. Okay? If you're supposed to be the people of the Most High, you're supposed to be governing and running this earth by the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Torah. Continue reading on.
And he said unto them, take nothing for your journey.
Now read that second verse. Read that second verse.
Pardon, skip my back. And he sent them to preach the kingdom of the Most High.
So Yahushua HaMashiach sent them to preach the kingdom of the Most High. And that's who the kingdom belongs to the children of Israel. Continue.
And to heal the sick.
And to heal the sick. Because we were sick back then and we're still sick today. And we're going to be healed eventually. Continue.
And he said unto them, take nothing for your journey, neither staffs, nor scrip, neither bread, neither money, neither have 2 coats apiece. And whatsoever house ye enter into, there abide, and thence depart. And whosoever will not receive you, when you go out of that city, shake off the very dust from your feet for a testimony against them.
And that's what he said. If they don't receive you, the words that I sent you to give to them, if they don't receive you, shake the dust off your foot. And that's going to be a testimony to them. And this word is going to be a testimony to a lot of our people too that reject this word. Okay? So read that verse again.
And he said unto them, take nothing for your journey, neither staffs.
No, read the verse that the last verse that you read.
Okay, verse 4, yeah, it said, and whatsoever house ye enter into, there abide, and thence depart. And whatsoever will not receive you, when you go out of that city, shake off the very dust from your feet.
That's literally shake the dust off your feet. Like, that's it. It's done for you. When you shake the dust off your feet, you like, it's done. You finish. Because you rejected the words of the Most High. Continue.
For a testimony against them.
For a testimony against them. It's going to be a testimony against them in the day of judgment. Nobody escapes. Nobody can say, well, I didn't know, I didn't hear, nobody didn't tell me. No. Everybody heard this word, but they refuse to accept it. And turn out, I don't want to hear that. Make mockery of it. Okay? So in the end, everybody got to play up to that music. Okay? Go ahead.
And they departed and went through the towns, preaching the gospel and healing everywhere. Now Herod, the Tetrarch, heard of all that was done by him.
So this was Herod, that evil, wicked Edomites. Okay? They heard of the fame of Yahushua. And they're like, wait a minute. Who's this guy? Who's this guy, man? His fame is going abroad. But this is the reason why he was feared. He was fearing. Let's continue reading on.
And he was perplexed.
He was perplexed. Okay, go ahead.
Because that is was said to, excuse me, but because that is was said of some, that John was risen from the dead.
So they said, wait a minute. Some saying John has risen from the dead. So showing you, back then, that was a known thing that the prophets came back. Okay? They knew that the prophets was coming back. They said, wait a minute. John the Baptist is back again. Because he killed John the Baptist. So he was like, wait a minute. Is he back already? Yeah, we coming back. We coming back. All of us are coming back in the last days. All right? Go ahead.
And of some that Elias had appeared.
They said, wait a minute. Is Elijah back too? So he was perplexed at this. So even he knew the customs of the Hebrews, that the resurrection and us being brought back was a known thing. That wasn't a myth. Okay, go ahead.
And of others, that one of the old prophets was risen again.
So he was saying, wait a minute, one of the old prophets again. So he was fearing. Okay, continue.
And Herod said, John have I beheaded.
So what he said? He said, listen, I beheaded John. And you know, with a boastful type of mentality. I beheaded John. That's what they did to us. That devil beheaded John the Baptist. He chopped his head off and put it on a silver platter. But the Most High is going to get revenge for that. You understand? John the Baptist didn't die in vain. The Most High is going to reward him for that judgment. That's why those of us that's in the spiritual realm are crying out to the Most High and asking the Most High, how long, Most High, will you not avenge those of us that have been died and killed? And they're asking the Most High to bring that vengeance upon our enemies. Okay? And that brother that got killed, that got hung in North Carolina just about a week ago, they hang him in North Carolina. And what happened right after that? Here comes Big Papa. Here comes Big Papa, man, doing his thing for us. Okay? You touch the Most High people, you're going to pay, man. Okay? And that's what we have to realize. We got power once we return back to the Most High. We ain't have to go to the government to get justice. No, we go to the Father, ask the Most High Yahweh, bring your judgment upon our enemies. That's what David said in the Psalms 109. Let me read that real quick. Because no, that's not nice. You better be quiet. Shut your mouth. David was a man after the Most High's heart. The Most High said he loved David. And the Most High answered David's prayers. And David set this here for us as an example. We can go run to the damn devil for justice. We go to the Most High for our justice. And let him bring our justice. Because the devil don't have to give us no justice. Look what he did to the people of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay? Let's go to Psalms 109 real quick, and we're coming back here to Luke 9. Psalms 109.
Verse.
And you're going to start from the first verse, right from the first verse.
Yep. Read out the book of Psalms, chapter 109, verse 1. Hold not thy peace, O Most High of my praise.
See what David is saying? He's asking the Most High, don't hold your peace. Don't hold back, Most High. Bring it. He's asking the Most High to bring it full force. Bring it all the way. And that's the way we should be too. Oh, we're going to pray. Maybe Kamala Harris will get in there. Kamala Harris ain't going to do nothing for you. Or Trump. Oh, peace so... Man. Oh, man. Goodness gracious, man. Haven't we learned yet? Go ahead.
For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are open against me.
And who is that? That's our enemies, the so-called white man. That's him. The mouth of the wicked and the deceitful are open against. He's very deceitful. And their mouth are open against us to talk all kind of lies and propaganda. Continue.
They have spoken against me with a lying tongue.
And that's all they do. They speak against us with a lying tongue. They lie. The scripture says as soon as they come out their womb, they come out speaking lies. A damn serpent slither in his tongue and got his fangs out, seeking whom he could bite and put his poison into. Soon as he's born, he comes out speaking lies. That's his nature. Continue.
They compass me about also with words of hatred.
And who's more hateful than this European beast? Guy knows to say we teach hate. We haven't shown no hatred to nobody yet. We haven't shown no hatred. All we've been doing is showing love, and all we got for our love is hatred. But the one who has been showing the hatred is this white man. Went about robbing, killing, stealing, destroying everybody's resources and wealth, taking their lands. He's the one that's been displaying the hatred. That's why I said for the last 500 years. We could go back farther with the Greeks and the Romans, but we're going to start with the last 500 years. You could get a better picture of that for the last 500 years. Okay? With Columbus and all his thugs, when they came and took this land from the so-called native Indians. Okay? They took this land from the Indians that was here. Okay? And they didn't just take it and say, we come with peace. They came with violence. But they used peace to disarm you. Okay? And they had that sword ready to chop your head off. Okay? That's the nature of the wicked. He tells you all that peace, love. But war is in his heart. Continue.
And fought against me without a cause.
See? And they fought against us without a cause. Continue.
For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer.
And that's what we've been doing here as a people. Oh, well, the Lord Jesus, Jesus. But you pray to a white Jesus. Jesus, my Lord. You got to get that white Jesus out of your mind. That's white supremacy. That's a Eurocentric white supremacy mentality. Continue.
And they have rewarded me evil for good.
See, and that's what they have been doing to us. Continue.
And hatred for my love.
See, and hatred for our love. Continue.
Set thou a wicked man over him.
See what David said? David said, set thou a wicked man over him. Go ahead.
And let Satan stand at his right hand.
So was David wrong?
Nope.
Was David wrong? David said, let Satan stand at his right hand. You understand? And if Satan cursed Satan, what is he going to do? He's going to bring destruction upon himself. So David said, let Satan sit at his right hand. That's what we should be asking the Most High for. Not talking about, can we just all get along? Can we just, why is there so much hatred? Why is this? No, stop it, fool. Look at what time you're in. See what's taking place in the earth. Why are these things happening? But we don't want to see those things as a people. Continue.
When he shall be judged, let him be condemned.
Ooh, you hear that? You hear what David said? When he shall be judged, let him be condemned. Continue.
And let his prayer become sin.
Oh, you can't want no better. He said, let his prayer be as sin. So David was cursing them out. They was asking the Most High to curse and destroy our enemies. Continue.
Let his days be few.
Oh my goodness. You know what that mean? When you say you want a man's days to be few, what are you saying? Cut him short, cut off his lifespan. And not only him, but his children too. Continue.
And let another take his office.
And let another take his office. Go ahead.
Let his children be fatherless.
Whoa! Whoa! You see that? Now you might say, David ain't right, man. David can't be a man of God. But that's what a fool would say. An ignorant prayer. But David said, read again.
Let his children be fatherless.
David said, let his children be fatherless. Go ahead.
And his wife a widow.
And let his wife be a widow. Let her have no husband. Go ahead.
Let his children be continually vagabonds.
Ooh, you see that?
Beg.
And see, let them be vagabonds and beg. Okay, so some people might say, but that's not nice, brother. What happened in North Carolina? We can't rejoice at that. Why not? Why not? They did it to us. And a lot of towns that you see in the South, they flooded those towns and made them lakes, ponds, reservoirs. Okay? A lot of those places down south flooded and killed us in those eras. So now the Most High is bringing his justice. Yes.
In Georgia, there's a place called Lake Lanier.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a very wealthy black neighborhood, and they flooded it out and made it a lake.
I mean, a lake. A lake.
And now they have all of these big, houses out around that lake. And matter of fact, it was Usher's child got killed on that lake.
Mm-hmm.
Usher. Remember they had that big boat in there?
Yeah.
They said one of Usher's children died with his wife's child.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, people
Who died constantly. Yeah.
Voting accidents. That's
Yeah.
what they said.
Yeah. It's the Most High's judgment. Because, see, all those spirits there died unjustly. You understand? And it was a vicious death. So those spirits haven't rest peacefully. You understand? So the Most High is bringing his judgment back in the earth. And people can't understand and realize that because they tend to have amnesia. Okay? But the Most High is going to bring everything back to everybody's understanding to show you why he's doing these things. Continue.
Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places.
So David said, let them seek the bread out of the garbage, man. Go behind the damn sewer place and get your food. That's what he's saying. Okay? They was asking the Most High to curse our enemies. Continue.
Let the extortioner catch all that he hath, and let the stranger spoil his labor. Let there be none to extend mercy unto him.
You see that? Don't be none to extend mercy unto him. Continue.
Neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children.
Imagine that. Even your fatherless children, nobody's going to have pity upon them. Could you imagine that? Because that happened to us too. Continue.
Let his prosperity be cut off.
Woo, you see that? Let his posterity be cut off. No male lineage. That's a serious thing. Okay, go ahead.
And in the generation following, let their name be blotted out.
Woo! David is asking for a massive curse on our enemies. But we're going to hold that and go back to Yahweh Shai. Okay? I just want to put that out there for people trying to be sympathetic. Why do all the Israelites only teach hatred against? No, brother, it's the truth. Take it how you want it, brother. I don't give a damn. I'm going to give it to you raw. Raw. Who said that? Raw. Oh, yeah, right? Old dirty bastard, right? Let's go back to Luke 9.
I'm on 6th verse. No? Let me start. No, 7th verse. Pardon.
9. You finished at 9.
Yeah, right, but not yet, right. Pardon me, it's man, that's right. Read over.
Okay, read Luke 9 and 9 again.
Okay. Read the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 9. And Herod said unto John, I have beheaded. But who is this?
See, now he's boasting what he did. You understand? And that's how our enemies are. They always boast when they have the triumphal victory over us. And that's what they do to all the nations around the earth. They boast what they did. Okay, go ahead.
But who is this, of whom I hear such things?
So when he heard the fame of Yahushua, he was like, what? Who's this guy? Who's this man now? All right, go ahead.
And he desired to see him.
Yeah, he didn't want to see him. He wanted to see him to kill him. He didn't want to see him, per se, to see him like, well, let me see what he's about. No, he wanted to get rid of him. Go ahead.
And the apostles, when they were returned, told him all that they had done. And he took them and went aside privately into a desert place belonging to the city called Bethsaida.
Mm-hmm.
And the people, when they knew it, followed him. And he received them, and spake unto them of the kingdom of the Most High.
And he was telling them of the kingdom of the Most High, what was going to come in the future. Okay? He was telling them, I know you in the hell that you're going through under the Romans, but this was going to be a future thing to come. And that was over 2,000 years ago. Okay, go ahead.
And healed them that had need of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And when the day began to wear, and when the day began to wear away, then came the 12, and said unto him, Send the multitude away, that they may go into the towns and country round about, and lodge, and get victuals, for we are here in a desert place.
So they were out in the desert. So the disciples said, Listen, Yahushua, tell them so they could go and get food in the towns and stuff like that. But Yahushua had a plan. He was going to show them something. Because remember, you out in the desert now. You're tired, you're hungry, thirsty. The sun is beating down. And you know our people, we love to eat. We love to eat. And a lot of them came mainly because of the food. Because they wanted food. Right? Go ahead.
But he said unto them, Give ye them to eat. And they said, We have no more but 5 loaves and 2 fishes.
So you told Yahushua, listen, man, all we got here is 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. How are we going to feed all these people? How are we going to feed all these thousands of people that's here hungry? But the Most High was showing the power through Yahushua. Okay, go ahead.
Except we should go and buy meat for all this people,
Mm-hmm.
for they were about 5,000 men.
See, 5,000 men. That's a lot of people, man, to feed. Could you imagine that? 5,000 men to feed. Grown men, hungry at that too. They're going to want seconds. Like Quora. All you could eat, right? All you could eat, buffet. Go ahead.
And he said to his disciples, Make them sit down by 50s in a company.
So what he did? So 5,000 people, you sit them down in 50s, rows of 50s, or how you should put a company of 50. Right? So if you got 50 in each row, that will give you the amount of people that you need to serve. So that's what? 50 times what? 50 times 100, right? 50 times what? That's what? These are 5,000 people. So you got to divide 100.
That's
Yeah.
right.
100. 100 row of 50. All right? And where that concept came from. Let me see if y'all know where did that concept came from. Put them in rows of 50s. Go back. You go back to somebody that came when we came out of Egypt. Remember Moses told Moses set up officers of 50s in 50s, officers of 10s, 50s, 100s. That's where the concept came from. So Yahushua set them up in the rows of 50s. That way you could feed them easier. All right? And that's how you could keep an accurate count. And Esau does that too. You ever notice when there's a march or a protest, he could tell you, well, there was at least 20,000 people. How do he know that off the bat like that?
The way he set it up, right? Well,
Yeah, the way he set it up, but how does he know it's approximately 10,000 people in a march or protest? Who want to take a try? Who want to take a try? Right.
They can't go beyond the back.
Right. And then a block is what? A block consists of what? Oh. 20 miles from here to almost close to New
a
Rochelle.
block?
A
No,
block.
that's going to consider about maybe what 800 feet. When you break it down, it's not even a quarter of a mile.
Right.
Way less than
It's
that.
way less than that.
Way less.
So if you figure in a block, within a block, could hold at least 1,000 people, then you could do your math by that. It's all projected math. You understand?
Wow.
And it's something that military, the police department, they all calculate and know those things. You understand? So they could tell you approximately how many people is in a crowd. All right? Just like when King did the march in Washington, D.C., they knew from the area, the circumference or the amount of square area you have, how much people have in a capacity. All right? So that's all part of the logistical planning. All right? Mm-hmm. All right? 20, say it again? Mm-hmm.
But you know, can I say something so quick, though?
Yeah.
Saying that too. Remember, all blocks not the same.
Right.
You're
Some
saying
blocks
some
are longer.
Some
Right.
longer, some are shorter.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you know. gotta
Right.
get that
But the
too.
average block.
Average, right? That's the
Average
yeah.
block. Because remember, everything is zoned off according to zones. And they purposely planned that well. They could tell you, that's why when they pull up any map, they have a map or architecture layout. Everything is zoned out in zones. They could tell you exactly which. That's why when they do a GPS signaling, it's based upon that too. A GPS signal could tell you exactly where every block is, where the next block is, the next block, because it's all. Look, when you see when you go on to Google Map, you see got all the blocks laid out. You got this block, you got Sumter, you got Bainbridge. It's all mapped out. Within that, they could have a projection of how much people could fit in that capacity, or how many houses on that block. All right, everything in the city is already in planning zones. Yeah, yeah, everything is in zones. It's zoned out, and the house could tell you how many apartments, how many bedrooms, what's the capacity, the square feet of the house. You know what I'm saying? Everything is in zones and planned out when you build your house. Yeah. And who's living there too? Right. Right. They got different zones for everything. You understand? Everything is well planned and calculated in this system, man. It's a matrix. You can't escape it. Okay? You might think, well, I could get around that. No. No. You in a spider's web. The only thing you could do, once you caught in a spider's web, what's the only thing you could do in that spider web? Either you go round and round and round it, but you can't get out. You can't get out that spider web. Notice when a spider weaves his web and he catches any insect, they can't get out. They could go around and around, go to the edge, the top, the bottom, the middle, but they can't get out. That's the same thing that we're in. We're in that matrix of this system. We can't escape it. You understand? Everything is already strategically set up and planned the way they have the system set up. Okay? Esau has a full fail proof to everything that he does in this system. Okay? How you think he could track every phone call and every telephone messages? He has it in his data. He could go back and pull back to the tracker and say, well, listen, this phone call was placed from this era in this zone right here at what time? At 1 o'clock for 2 minutes. He was on the phone for 2 minutes, okay? And he was speaking to somebody over in Texas. They could pull that up. That's not hard. That's how they track you. You understand? How you think the Israelis were able to do that to the people in Lebanon when they blow up all those walkie-talkies? You understand? They put a explosive device in the walkie-talkies and set it to go off. When they use it, boom! All of them got blown up. Now what they did, the company that made those walkie-talkies, they went to those company and bought those walkie-talkies, and they took them back to Israel, and the Mossad and the agents planted C4, whatever it was, in the device, and then they set it back out in the market. Yeah. You understand? So they figured out and knew what type of cellular device they were using. They know that a lot of the Hezbollahs don't use cell phones, but they use walkie-talkies. They know. You understand? The Mossad, that's their job. That's the Hebrew name for intelligence. Mossad is an intelligent name that goes into deep intelligence and research and everything. And Israel got their spies in every part of the world. You understand? You got Arab turncoats that work for them too. You understand? Arab coons that work for them too, that go against their own people too. And that's why the United States love to use the fact that they integrate this system. They bring everybody into the system so they could use them as spies. And America said, whoa, a melting pot, they use that for a reason. When you bring everybody into your system, you could use them as spies to spy against your own people for your interests. Just like North and South Korea. Don't you think that there's spies from South Korea spying in North Korea to give intel back to the United States? Yes. Because they speak the same language. But they're spies for America, for South Korea, spying in North Korea to give intel back to the United States. Just like in Iran, you got so-called Iranian Jews that live in Iran that are spies for the Mossad. Double agents. That's why they was able to kill, what's his name in Iran? The guy from Hamas. Because you got Iranian Jews that are spy working for the Mossad. You understand? It's a network. It's a big network they have set up, man. You understand? And that's what the Mossad tell you in Daniel 2, that he will leave his seed in all the nations of the earth. That's what he did. That's a strategic move. The Greeks and the Romans left their seed. The Ottoman Turkish Empire left their seed in all nations of the earth. Infiltrated all nations, mixed up their seed amongst them to use them in the end for their benefits. You understand? Yeah, just like the people in Turkey. The people in Turkey and Israel is the same people, same Khazars. Ain't no different. Look at the people in Turkey and the people in Israel. They're the same. They look alike. Ain't no different. Look at some of the Arabs over there mixed and looks like white people. They look just like the so-called Jew and the Turkish people. Yeah. They're all the same people. Khazars came out from the Ottoman Turkish Empire. Okay, and they left their seed in all the earth to control the wealth of the earth. In South America, who's down in South America? The descendants of the Spanish. All right? In India, who's down in India? Some of the descendants of the British and the Greeks. All right? They run and control those countries. It's all for political, economical, and geopolitics. All right? So let's finish reading this here. All right? So Yahushua set them up in rows of 50s. But I want to go back and go into my class. But let's finish reading this here.
Yeah, verse 15 it says, and they did so, and made them all sit down. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven.
So Yahushua took the five loaves of bread and the 2 fish, and he looked up and prayed to the Most High, asked the Most High to bless the food that he had here. And in doing that, the Most High multiplied that food in abundance. Go ahead, finish reading it.
It said, he looked up to heaven, he blessed them, and he brake, and gave to the disciples to set before the multitude. And they did eat, and were all filled, and there was taken up of fragments that remained to them 12 baskets.
So there were fragments of 12 baskets left. So that was more enough food to feed 5,000. It was over the amount. And you ever notice here too, even when you bring the least amount of food, it's still enough food to feed everybody. You could bring the least amount of food and it's still enough to feed everybody and still get seconds. Look at last night. There's a whole lot of, and there's still food left over for today. There was a lot of food. You understand? Yeah, we're gonna eat it. It's a feast of tabernacle. It's a feast of blowing trumpets. We're gonna eat. Time to feast. Yeah, right after the class, we're gonna feast. Oh, Sharon. Go ahead.
It said, and it came to pass as he was alone praying, his disciples were with him. And he asked them, saying, Whom say the people that I am?
So Yahushua went back to them and said, "No, I'm going to ask you now, my boys now. Whom do you say I am?" Everybody is saying that I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. Who do you say I am? So he's putting them to the test now. Go ahead.
They answered and said, John the Baptist, but some say Elias,
But some say you're John the Baptist, some say you're Elijah. Go ahead.
and others say that one of the old prophets is risen again.
One of the old prophets is risen again. Who's one of those old prophets he's talking about? And who else? Before Elijah and before Moses? Abraham, Enoch. He's going back, way back then. All right. Go ahead.
He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am?
So he said, but no, whom do you say I am? Who do you say that I am? Not what people say. I'm asking you now. Go ahead.
Peter answering said, The Mashiach Yahushua of the Most High.
But Peter answered, he said, but you are the Mashiach, the Son of the Most High. Peter answered straight off the bat. It wasn't no ifs, no buts, or, well, I'm not sure. Peter knew this. You understand? And how did Peter knew this? How did Peter knew this? How did Peter knew that Yahushua is the Mashiach that the Most High sent? How did Peter know that? Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, because he saw him walk on water. Well, one of the things, oh, no, I probably didn't answer the right question.
That too, you did walk, but what else? It's something that Peter knew. That too, and what else? The Spirit. Peter knew intrinsically from the Spirit of the Most High that he is the Son of the Most High, the Mashiach. It's a spiritual thing. All right, hold that. Let me show you. Go to Romans. Romans the 8th chapter.
Yeah. Life in the Spirit. Yep. You know all the time.
Romans the 8th chapter. It's a spiritual thing.
Yeah, what? Spirit.
All right, Romans.
Oh, probably one of them. See. After the Spirit. 5. So, okay.
All right, I'm gonna tell you right here. Read.
It's 5.
In 1 second. Okay, I'll tell you what. Start here from read. Read Romans 8 and 8. But the main point I want you to read is the 16th verse. Romans 8 and 8.
All right. Read out the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 8. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Jump to 16 now?
Now read the 9th verse. Yeah.
Oh,
mhm.
go on. Okay, your palm said, But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
If so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwell in you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if any man have not the Spirit of the Mashiach Yahushua, he is none of his.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And if Yahushua be in you, the body is dead because of sin.
Mm-hmm.
But the Spirit is life because of righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
But
Go
if
ahead.
the
Go ahead.
okay, but if the Spirit of him that raised up Mashiach Yahushua from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Yahushua from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Spirit that dwelleth in you.
Now jump to
Th-
the 16th verse.
Verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that ye are the children of the Most High.
And that's what Peter recognized in you. You understand? And just like when Yahushua saw Nathanael, what did Yahushua say to Nathanael? When he saw Nathanael, he said, "An Israelite indeed, in whom there is no guile." As soon as Yahushua saw him, he said, "There goes that Israelite, man. There goes that Israelite brother, man." And Nathanael said, "How you know me?" I was trying to say, I knew you, man. I knew you before you. All right? Okay? So it's that spirit that's within us that bears
important.
witness. Okay? So read that 16th verse again.
The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
That's right. The spirit is that spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Okay? No, right now, Joe, the children of the Most High. There's a spirit that's within us. That spirit can't be hid. I don't care if you try to camouflage it, it still pops up and shows up. Okay? Even in our ignorance. All right? Okay? So go back to where you were.
Luke.
That,
Yes.
that's true because when people ask us, they can say, yeah, but how do you know?
Yeah.
We just know.
We just know. We just know. It's intrinsically in us. We don't need no facts or proof or no. We know. We don't believe. We know. Okay? Go ahead. Where you
verse
left
20,
off.
yeah. And reading that book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
He said unto them, but whom say ye that I am? Okay. Peter answered and said, Mashek Hawashah, the Most High, verse 21, it said, and he straitly charged them and commanded them to tell no man that thing.
Why did he tell him that? Why did he tell him, don't tell nobody? Let me see. It wasn't yet time. And he didn't want no fame or no popularity. Or look at me, look now. It wasn't that time yet. Everything is based on timing. Everything has its time and its course. All right? Go ahead.
The Son of Man must suffer many things.
See, but he had to suffer first. All right? And when that happened, then the time is going to come where the Spirit of the Most High is going to manifest and show that he is the Son of the Most High. All right? But he wanted to make sure the disciples knew this first. Why? Because they were his first-hand witness account to everything. Yes. Why do we? Well, it was meant for you to understand. For them, it wasn't meant for them to understand. That's a blessing. That's a blessed thing. You understand? Many are called, but few are chosen. Not everybody is going to hear and see this, man. And if you could see and hear it, all praises to the Most High, man. You know? Because some people have family members that don't, I even want to hear that. Some people don't want, like, no, I can't, they can't see it. You understand? My mother saw this before when and look, this was like back in what? 89. I gave her a tape of Yeshaya, one of the most roughest and hardest teacher. And she listened at the tape and she was like, she said, son, my gosh. She didn't buck against it. She was like, I always knew this. You understand? I was surprised, like, damn, mommy didn't buck against it. I was shocked, man. You understand? And this was back in 89. And I talked to my father about it, like, oh no, I'm a Jesus Christ. White man Jesus. He couldn't get it for nothing, my father. Couldn't get it. You understand? And he was a militant dude. America's gonna fall back in his days. Then he became a born again Christian. Oh my goodness. That's the worst thing ever happened to him. What the hell is this, man? Amazing, man. But my mother, she saw it and she accepted it, man. With no problem. And I gave one of the roughest teacher tape to listen to. And she listened to it. I was surprised. She didn't rebel against it. She came back and she was amazed at it. You know, if you give your mom one of the hardest and roughest teacher tape to listen, they're going to reject that thing. You understand? And when Yeshaya spoke on the tape, Yeshaya, woo, you were like, no, I can't give it to my mom. Yeshaya? And I gave her the tape and she listened to it She came back and she was smiling. And she was like, I said, Mom, you like it? She said, what? She was amazed. She was like, she said, I always knew that we were the children of the Most High. I said, you like it, Mommy? She said, yeah. I was like, wow, amazed that she didn't reject it, man. You know, all praises to the Most High, man. You know? So, but she always had, even today, she'll tell me what the scripture about Esau, the white man. I said, yeah, Mommy. She said, why they can't fall now? I said, in time, Mommy, in time. She can't wait for them to go down. You understand? I said, in time, Mommy, you know? But that's amazing, man. And then I have 1, 2, 3, I have 4 more brothers. Actually, I got 5 more brothers. One is a preacher, a so-called preacher in the white man's cemetery. He went to the school, everything. White Jesus. All right? Then I got another brother. He's an Israelite too. All right? But he doesn't follow the one West Israelite, but he follows the other Israelites. All right? Then I got 3 of my sisters. That's in the truth. All right? So, not everybody in your family is going to accept it. The scripture said you're going to be one of a family. You understand? But that's how it is sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know? But my father, I tried talking to him. He want to bring his Christian values to me like, no. No. John 3:16. I'm like, no, Daddy, that doesn't mean that, Daddy. But I had to have patience with him, though. You understand? But in his younger days, you couldn't tell him nothing good about America. He said, boy, America is going to fall. America is going to fall. Militant. Couldn't tell him nothing about, oh, America this, America that. And when he became a born-again Jesus, white Jesus Christian, that was it, man. You know?
He was in the armed forces?
No.
He was just militant.
Just militant. Yeah, he grew up under Marcus Garvey too, you know. You know, follow Marcus Garvey and that stuff too, you know. But yeah, he even call America Egypt too. In his young, yeah, Egypt, yeah. Egypt gonna fall. Egypt gonna fall. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But when he came out born again Christian, come to Jesus stuff, that changed. Yeah.
Militant days, he practically down pat.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he comes to the very book that was supposed to confirm exactly what he sensed,
Mm-hmm.
maybe since he was a child,
Yep.
because he got into the theological seminary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He went to that cemetery. Yeah. And then one of my brother, he went to the seminaries, went to the school, everything, graduated. He's a minister, everything. You know what I mean? But I never really talked and discussed about him about the truth. But one is I'm going to do it. But he's a full-fledged minister. Lives in Puerto Rico. Now he speaks fluent Spanish. Teaching in Puerto Rico. You understand? Yeah.
I was going to say pertaining to that. Remember I mentioned the same thing go for all the pieces. All the false black leaders and preachers. My brother had told me, my biological brother, and I was thinking about him all the time. So from the 80s, when he was talking fast, when he was, he preached a sermon of the dry bones, right? Mm-hmm. And so now about maybe a month now, my brother had told me, said he caught a stroke. I said, I've been thinking about all that time because we know what it says in Jeremiah 23rd chapter. That's what I'm going to say. They're going to catch hell now. Yep. He's preaching Jesus.
All right. So it's a blessing when you could see it, man. All right. And don't feel bad. The rest of your family members can't see it, man. Maybe you might see it later on. Maybe they might not see it. But pray to the Most High and give the Most High praise that He open your eye to see it, man. Because that's a blessing. You understand? That's a great thing, man. You know, and as Yahushua said, many wise men have wished to see the things that he has seen and written about, man. And we have seen and we've seen it and hearing it, man. You know? And that's why he said, blessed is he that heareth the words of the Most High and that readeth, man. So it's a blessed thing. All right? So go ahead.
This said in verse 22, I'm going to start from top again. It said, saying, the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be slain and be raised the third day.
See, and he was rejected of the elders, the high priests. Okay, they was the main one that caused the people to fall into that error. They rejected him. Okay, go ahead.
And he said to them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me.
So when he said take up your cross, what does that mean? Does he mean to go and carry a cross with you? Oh, carrying a big wooden cross with you? Does it mean that? What does it mean?
Take it cheerfully.
Take up your burdens and whatever things come upon you, you got to take it with you every day, man. Being prosecuted, being hated, being accused wrongfully, people despising you. That's what it means. Take up that cross, man, daily. Take that burden with you, man. Because when you in this truth, you're going to be lonely sometime. Because the world ain't going to like you. They ain't going to like, well, nah. They ain't going to agree with what you're saying. Nah, I don't want to hear what you're saying. You understand? You know what? Maybe, but I don't want to hear that now. They want to hear other foolishness.
Smooth talk. That's right.
All right? So, sometimes in this truth you could be lonely, but you're not lonely once you come amongst those that believe and that have the same faith. You understand? And that's why we're supposed to support and energize one another once we come amongst one another, to give that support and that energy. All right? Go ahead.
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
So if you try to save your life in this world, well, I don't want to be part of that, you're going to lose it. Okay, go ahead.
But whosoever will lose his life for my sake,
See, but if you lose your life for Yahweh's sake, all right, go ahead.
the same shall save it.
You're going to save it in the end. All right? You might die, but you coming back in the end is a great reward. There's a great reward in the end. Okay? Go ahead.
For what is a man advantage if he gain the whole world and lose himself or be cast away?
And how do you lose yourself? How do you lose yourself?
Taking on the customs of the world, the habits.
And that too, and then you lose your soul. You lose your soul. You understand? Like that Uncle Ruckus in North Carolina. What's his name? Mark Robinson. He's a perfect self-hating Negro. And he's going to lose his soul in the end. Okay? He's a self-hating Negro. Talking about he's a black Nazi. How the hell you going to be a black Nazi? Okay? Talking about he wished slavery could come back because he could use some slaves too. Big fat damn buffoon. All right? And he got busted. CNN busted his behind. He had his username he used is called Mini Soldier. And he was a tranny porn site. Love tranny porns. How the hell you a Republican talking all that crap and you and tranny porn watching tranny porn? Talking that's what he likes. You understand? So he got busted. Now he thought he gonna sue CNN. Sue CNN for telling the truth against him. I wanna see that. CNN got the receipt on his behind, man. That was your damn username, Mini Soldier. Okay? On a damn transvestite porn site. Got everything. Thought he gonna sue. How you gonna sue? Yeah. Yeah, all of them do it, Republicans.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's what these Republicans are supposed to be, so holier than thou. That's what they do. You understand? And they say the Democrats are a bunch of this, but the Democrats, at least they're doing what they're doing. But you're supposed to be, I'm a Republican, we're God-fearing, we're evangelical, but yet you're on porn site watching tranny? Give me a break, man.
It was actually Madison.
Mm-hmm.
It was that lingerie girl. 20 years
Hey, what's his name too? The one that was running for what's his name? The football player. Herschel Walker too. He too. Yeah.
girl who was like a lingerie. She became like a lingerie salesperson, but she was a call girl.
Mm-hmm.
And there was her books were big, and then it was Ashley Madison. Heidi Fleiss.
Right.
Then it was Ashley Madison.
Mhm.
And then it's now that Epstein.
Right.
Everybody. His
And that's what they do, Republicans, man. And try to act like, and then you got another story. If a woman goes in a man's bathroom trying to be a man, she should be arrested. Now, you should be arrested now, being a hypocrite. And the Most High got him because he's such a self-hater. He always talk trash against his own people. So the Most High got his behind now. Now you trying to talk about he going to sue CNN. I want to see that. Because when he does, CNN going to pull out the receipt and everything on his behind. So he may as well swallow it, take it, and just sit down and be quiet. Because he's not going to win against CNN. Thought he going to sue them for a label, for slandering his name. Give me a break. A black Nazi. He's a black Nazi. He wished slavery could come back because he could use some slaves. I will buy some myself. You fat pig. Give me a break. Boy, Uncle Ruckus is something else, boy. Goodness gracious, man. Let's go ahead.
For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed. When he shall come in his glory and in his fathers and of the holy angels.
So we're going to hold this here. And because, wow, it's 2 o'clock. I want to really get into my class. Yehuda, pull up that screen, the one with the flood. And Zechariah, go to Jeremiah 47 and 2. So we're going to deal with the flood. The missiles that are flying over the imposters. All right. But before we go, pull up the part with the documentary about the quartz, about in North Carolina, what the flood did to the we destroyed the mining company over there, the quartz company. Go to Jeremiah 47 and 2.
Read now or no?
Yeah, read that. Jeremiah 47 and 2.
Now the book of Jeremiah, chapter 47,
This one here.
verse 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, waters rise up out of the north,
So the Most High said, water's going to rise up from the north. Go ahead.
and shall be an overflowing flood,
And it's going to be an overflowing flood. Go ahead.
and shall overflow the land,
And it's going to overflow the land. Go ahead.
and all that is therein, the city, and them that dwell therein.
Mm-hmm.
Then the men shall.
That's it. So that's what happened down in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida. In those sundown cities, towns, right? All right. So let's pull out fair use. This is fair use usage. Fair use usage. This is not no copyright infringement. This is all fair use. Fair use. No copyright infringement. All right. Go ahead, Yahweh, when you could get it. So in North Carolina, while he gets it, in North Carolina, that town that got flooded, there was a mining company over there. Right? The name of the company is called Spruce something. And that company mines quartz. That's Quartz. Quartz. All right? Quartz is a mineral. All right? Glass is made from it. Watches, clocks, kitchen countertops, electronics, and radios, GPS, and computers. All right? And even some toothpaste is made from it too. It's a mineral. But this mineral is abundance in North Carolina. So out there in North Carolina, it was a quartz mining company that got flooded. that produces a lot of semiconductors. And semiconductors are used in phones. It's used in a lot of the AI technologies. All right. So this was one of the largest plants in North Carolina that produces this stuff. So now with this plant destroyed, it's going to be a pushback and a setback to the economy and to that segment of that community that makes these products. So like I said, it makes electronics and radios, GPS, computers. All right. So this was a major mining location for high purity quartz. All right. They had the highest purity of this quartz. All right. It's known as the Spruce Pine Gem. It's in Spruce Pine, North Carolina. Right. Spruce Pine. This is where they manufacture these quartz. And it's like I said, it's a mineral, but it could be, when they refine it and use it, it could be used for all these products in technology, mainly for a lot of AI technology products. All right. So that area of that plant was totally destroyed. All right. So it's going to take a while to either rebuild or relocate that location. So that's a blow to the economy too. Okay. And it's going to affect those people that live in that area of North Carolina, because that's how a lot of these yahoos make their living. All right. Okay. So that was the most strategically targeting that area in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Florida.
Of its devastating impact.
All right. So fair usage. This is right here.
Made landfall as a major Category 4 storm. The scope of its devastating impact has spread over 500 miles, leaving a track through America's southeast unrecognizable. According to the Associated Press, over 200 people have been killed, and many are still unaccounted for as search and rescue efforts continue. Helene has become the deadliest mainland hurricane since Katrina in 2005.
These were all buildings through here. They're gone.
Here's how it unfolded. Throughout the day on September 24th, Helene battered communities in Cuba, the Caribbean, and along the eastern coast of Mexico. In the U.S., President Joe Biden approved a statewide emergency declaration in Florida, with the governors of North Carolina and Georgia warning residents of potentially catastrophic flooding.
We've declared a state of emergency, as you know, for all 159 counties on Tuesday, giving emergency management teams plenty of time to prepare.
Helene quickly strengthened to a tropical storm and then a Category 1 hurricane by the morning of the 25th. Mandatory evacuations took effect in at least 20 Florida counties, including Taylor, Sarasota.
I don't think everybody realizes how important effective communication is in your ability to move up at work. So these are 4 writing tweaks I was able to use to deliver more impactful emails and messages that honestly I think apply to anybody. And lastly, there are so many tools that can help with this. I've been a Grammarly stan for years, but they now have Gen AI features that not only can totally help you rewrite an email so it's more impactful and it's clearer, but it can summarize entire email threads.
So that's a commercial, all right? That's just a commercial,
so that you can arrive at the most effective message. I'll drop a link right here if you want to try it for free.
Gulf, and Hillsborough.
A mandatory evacuation has been ordered. Please leave this area.
On the morning of September 26th, Helene was upgraded to a Category 2 hurricane. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell warned everyone in the path of the hurricane to take the storm seriously.
Don't underestimate what the impacts could possibly be.
Within hours, Helene was again upgraded to Category 3 and then Category 4. It finally made landfall in Florida's Big Bend region at approximately 11:10 p.m., with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles per hour. Helene battered Florida, leaving nearly 1 million residents without power in the early hours of September 27th. The strength of Helene downgraded to a tropical storm as it pushed northwest into Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and Kentucky. The storm's strength made no lesser impact with inland geographical factors, in already rain-soaked North Carolina, historic rainfall totals and levels of storm surge washing away huge swaths of the region. Including Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, Helene is the 4th deadliest hurricane in United States history. The National Hurricane Center confirmed at least 15 feet of storm surge in Keaton Beach, Steinahachie, and Horseshoe Beach, Florida. Despite being over 110 miles from the storm center, Tampa Bay, Florida recorded 6 to 8 feet of storm surge over the course of Helene. The peak wind gust overall was 106 miles per hour at Mount Mitchell, North Carolina. Amid the storm, there were more than 20 reported tornadoes across 5 states. In Rocky Mount, North Carolina, 15 people were injured, including 4 seriously, after a tornado tore through the city on September 27th. Communities in the path of Helene saw catastrophic flooding from intense rainfall. The peak rainfall total came from Busick, North Carolina, with 31.33 inches of rain over the course of 3 days. That is 4 times their normal September rainfall in a 3-day period. Asheville, North Carolina, collected more than 14 inches of rain during the 3-day stretch. This has been their wettest month on record, dating back to 1869.
It just ripped it in half.
Rip it in half.
As Helene dissipated, communities have been left with unrecognizable towns and cities. Countless families have lost their homes, and numerous businesses have been devastated by wind and flood damage.
Coming to you live from what used to be Cedar Key, Florida. After the most punishing night any of us could ever have imagined.
There have been more than 6,300 members of the National Guard mobilized to support ongoing disaster relief, rescue, and recovery efforts in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, according to Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. President Joe Biden additionally directed the deployment of up to 1,000 active duty soldiers to reinforce the National Guard.
I promise you we have your back. We're going to stay until you're restored.
Everyday citizens are stepping up to support their communities. Hobby pilots, mule ranchers, and local families have been recorded on social media engaging in relief efforts. With bridges, roads, homes, and businesses left in ruin from Florida to the southern Appalachians, the mountain of recovery efforts is steep, and the true toll of Hurricane Helene remains unknown.
That was it. All right. So yes.
I was in Georgia. I got there on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
The hurricane hit that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I got there Thursday. It hit Thursday night and into Friday. And when because I'm picking up my car, they were supposed to deliver it to Georgia on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I called down to Florida, and they were like, it didn't go, because it's in Orlando. He said, we was, of course, waiting for that hurricane. It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, but it hit other places bad. So the hurricane, when it was going through the panhandle, it shifted and moved to certain directions. So when it came into Georgia, it was so interesting. Where I was out in Lithonia, which is primarily a black area, it went
Right around.
But downtown Atlanta was flooded. Like in the areas with very expensive Buckhead and
Peach
they were underwater.
Because the sodomite in the area down there.
Oh yeah, it was underwater. There were bridges washed out. The whole of Buckhead had water. Cars were covered. You saw this one car in that was on a street.
Right.
You know that they got the people out because the hatch was open and the windshield wipers was still going. They never turned the car off.
Wow.
And then of course you see the white people because everybody's looking loose. They're on the little bridge because they have such low-lying waters there that they're standing on these little bridge overpasses with their stupid little kids looking at the water, rushing. Then you have them, of course, they're in boats because it was like one person had a house that was built on higher ground. Their neighbors were all under the water. And they were like, we were so lucky our house, literally across the street, because they were on higher ground. Everybody else's house was under. And while I was there, I had to go to Emory Hospital to go see my uncle, because he's an older man and he was in the hospital. And we were constantly detoured because Emory is in Atlanta, but not in Atlanta proper.
Right.
And you just making detours all around. Because my sister has the smartest car you ever did see. This car has its own satellite and tells you where to go.
Right.
So it was crazy when I had to go to the auction yard to pick up my car. we were sent so far around, they were like, not let us hit any highway at all, because it kept saying.
All the highways are, yeah.
They kept saying, and this was days later, kept saying, the car kept saying, you're not going this way because it could be flooding. I mean, the car's talking, everything. It was crazy. So, but it was horrible down in downtown Atlanta. It was totally flooded out. Also in the area that was beyond, because we were in Lithonia, and if you go just a little bit north, there's this little town called Douglasville. Nothing but white people. I mean, it was like watching a movie to see the videos of showing the landslides and everything in Douglasville, because in Douglasville they used to sell slaves.
Yep. So the Most High hitting them hard, man. Yeah.
Where they're auctioned.
Chef blocks. Yeah. Yeah.
Just in relation to where you're saying, because this seems to have happened in a lot more affluent neighborhoods, when they don't care about all the big farms that are down there, how they're spraying
The fertilizers. Yeah.
and large areas are getting cancer and things for years.
Right.
And they ignore it because they're poor brown neighborhoods. But now you can see all the attention that's being paid.
Yeah.
And they're getting their payback from the store.
Yep. So they're getting it hard, man.
That's
Yep.
another thing she was saying. There were so many, like we get in the emergency reports. So many people in those neighborhoods had no power and everything, and we were great.
Right. And then pig farms too. When all that stuff goes in the water, it's right in the water. Yeah. So that's hazardous. That's chemical, toxic stuff, man.
And it was so funny because even the reporters on TV, they always talk about. And we're telling people, please, if you can, just stay home. Stay home. And they was like, do not go in these deep waters because it's full of snakes.
Right. Yep. All right. So read that Jeremiah 47:2 again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Read out the book of Jeremiah, chapter 47, verse 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, waters rise up out of the north.
See what it says? Water rises up from the north. Wow. Where did it hit? North Carolina and those areas. No doubt. So it's rising up from the north. Go ahead.
And shall be an overflowing flood.
And it's going to be a what? An overflowing flood. That's what it was. Storm surges, overflowing flood. Go ahead.
And shall overflow the land.
And it's going to overflow the land. The land was overflowed. All right, go ahead.
And all that is therein, the city and them that dwell therein.
See, those are in the mountains, in the city. All right, go ahead.
Then the men shall cry.
And then the men shall cry, and that's what they're doing now. They're crying. Go ahead.
And all the inhabitants of the land shall howl.
And they're howling. That's what's happening. The inhabitants of the land are howling now. All right, because no houses left, nothing. The whole future is gone right there. Imagine your whole entire house gone, man. After you put in all that for your house, and you got nowhere. Yo, one of the worst things is to be homeless, man. Homeless, man, no place to live. Imagine your whole and everything that you work for your whole entire life is gone in just one flash of a second. Imagine that, man. That's some serious thing, man. That will make you reflect and say, damn. You know what I mean? Everything is gone. But you might got important documents in there, IDs. All right? Everything is gone, man. You know? Yeah.
People on the news, oh, you lost everything, blah, blah, blah. Because the strangest thing about Georgia, similar to Indiana, it's landlocked. It has no water. It has no water. You are surrounded by other states.
States, yeah.
So it's totally landlocked. So anything that they have, like Lake Lanier, it's all man-made. So that's why they were like, we can't understand this because we don't even have wood.
Yeah, but that's what the Most High doing. The Most High strategically targeted them. All right. So what's the next one? All right. Show the one with the missiles. Let's show this one here with the missiles. Fair use. These missiles were heading to the land of the imposters, the 1948ers. All right. the imposters that's there, they had a great surprise. All right. All right. So it disrupted the what they call the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome, which is supposed to be so unpenetratable. All right. That's the safest thing. All right. But from the last time Iran discovered and figured out how to breach that system, because the last time Iran sent drones and other missiles, but it took 9 hours for those drones and missiles to get to Israel. But this time they used supersonic missiles that took 12 minutes to get from Iran to Israel. Imagine that. 12 minutes. You can't get from here to downtown Brooklyn, Fulton Street in 12 minutes. Nowhere in hell. Okay? Not even some parts of Brooklyn you can't get in 12 minutes. Okay? And those missiles got from Iran to Israel in 12 minutes. And you talking about, that's over a space about almost like 4,000 miles away. 5,000, almost, I said 5,000 miles away. It will take you to fly a plane from Iran to Israel about 8 to 9 hours or more. And you have a missile that got there supersonic in 12 minutes. Imagine that. And they probably got more missiles now that could hit in less than that. So you see what type of war we're up against now? This is going to be a war of some high tech, man. Okay? So those missiles got to Israel in 12 minutes. Go ahead. Fair use, fair use. No copyright infringement. Let's show that. Did the Iron Dome fail? It failed. It stopped some, but it couldn't stop all those missiles. The speed that's coming in with, that's coming faster than the speed than the speed of sound.
Every time Israel is attacked, you hear about the Iron Dome, the impenetrable shield. It's basically an air defense system. It ensures that projectiles do not hit Israeli targets. Instead, they're blown up in the sky. After the attack in April, everyone praised the Iron Dome, but this time there is no such celebration. Some Iranian users are in fact mocking it. The videos make one thing clear. A lot of Iranian missiles broke through the air defenses. They managed to hit Israeli soil. They couldn't damage much, except for the reputation of the Iron Dome. But Iran showed that Israel's airspace can be breached. So how did they do it? What changed from the last time? Well, first, some background. Israel has a multi-layer air defense system.
She's going to break it down now.
First is
Listen to
obviously
it.
the Iron Dome. It shoots down rockets.
The Silverado's ER2.
Commercial.
Smart head-up display.
Can't fast forward, right? No.
And small projectiles. Its range is 4 to 70 kilometers. That's the Iron Dome, the first layer. The second layer is called David's Sling. It can take out long-range rockets and cruise missiles. The range is up to 300 kilometers. And finally, you have the Arrow system, Arrow 1 and 2. These take out medium and long-range ballistic missiles and range up to 2,400 kilometers. In April, the Iron Dome did the heavy lifting, but this time it was the other systems. Iran says 90% of their projectiles hit the target. Israel says the majority was shot down. As expected, two different versions from two different sides, but pictures do not lie. There is clearly more physical damage this time around. The question is, how did it happen? Because of three main reasons. First, the intensity of the attack. The US government says this one was twice as big as the last one.
Certainly this was a significant attack, probably about twice the size in terms of scope of what we saw earlier. But again, we're still assessing the outcomes of this. It's
simple logic. If you fire more missiles, you have more chances of hitting the target. That's what happened here. Some of the projectiles will sneak through. Which brings us to reason number 2, the type of projectiles. In April, Iran fired mostly rockets and drones. These are not rapid flyers. They take their time to reach the target. The drones, for example, took 9 hours to fly from Iran to Israel, 9 hours, so the Iron Dome made short work of it. But this time, Iran stepped up. They fired 180 ballistic missiles. Now, these are lethal weapons. First, they're fired up to the Earth's atmosphere, sometimes even beyond the Earth's atmosphere. There, the payload separates from the rocket, and finally, it plunges towards its target, a bit like throwing a stone up in the air. Imagine the speed and the force created by such a fall. It makes intercepting them very difficult. Iran used 2 versions of these ballistic missiles, the medium-range Shahab-3 and the hypersonic Fateh-1. Hypersonic missiles can travel 5 times faster than sound. That's 6,100 kilometers per hour. Such missiles can reach Israel in 12 minutes.
See? 12 minutes.
Do you see the difference? 9 hours in April, 12 minutes yesterday. So the speed made interception difficult. Finally, reason number 3, the lack of warnings. In April, Iran informed the West days in advance. So they had time to prepare their defense. And this time, there were no warnings. The US and Israel had no clue until hours before the attack.
Pause there for a minute.
Iran had the
Pause there for a
element
minute,
of surprise,
Yauda.
which is why they had more success than the last time.
And that's why the Most High said it's going to be
is expensive business.
It's going to be a surprise attack on Babylon. They're going to be taken by surprise. All right? The Most High is going to use all those nations to get their weapons system and missiles good. And all of them going to shoot that direct missiles towards Babylon. Okay? It's going to be a surprise attack. And even the ones that they have here, the Most High going to jam their system and cause it to come back upon their own heads. Yes, Iran studied them. You understand? Because they were sleeping in Iran. Iran learned from what they did to Iraq and what they did in Afghanistan for those last 30 years. Iran said, you're not going to pull this one on us. Yeah, yes.
One of the first time it took 9 hours, that was a test.
That was a test.
Now, also, when you said it got there in boots at
12 minutes.
I said that makes it so clear what the word says. Babylon is destroyed in an
hour. Yep, in an hour. It's going to be taken in an hour. All those missiles going to be coming from Pakistan, Russia. Everybody's going to be shooting their missiles at this beach, man. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I was reading on it too that they said that's big. Once it stops one, there's like a little space in between.
Yeah.
It, and that's why they continue.
Yeah. They sleeping in Iran. They think this is going to do what they did with Saddam Hussein. No, Iran got smart. When they went into Iraq, Saddam Hussein, Iran, when they went to Afghanistan for those 20 years and those 8 years, Iran said, no. We're going to build all of our nuclear stuff underground, way underground, and we're going to move all our nuclear plants around the whole entire different areas. And we studied you, and we ready for this here. You're not going to take us like you did Gaddafi and all those other nations. All right? Yeah. Russia, right.
What is it?
The BRICS.
Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
Russia,
And India. Right, you understand? And then two, I believe that Pakistan is going to give them nuclear weapons too. Because Pakistan have nuclear weapons already. But Russia is going to back Iran. You understand? I think Russia is going to give them the early warning signal to shoot down any incoming planes that's coming out to fly over. You understand? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
No man knows the time, but Yahushua has chariots also.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Can you give us a breakdown? Where do they fit into the distance?
Well, the chariots going to come to play when the missiles are coming towards Babylon, USA. So at the same time when those missiles are coming through the atmosphere, they're whistling. You're going to hear those suckers whistling. At the same time, before it drop, the chariot's going to come and scoop us up. It's going to be simultaneous. As the destruction is coming, that's why the Most High said the righteous scarcely shall be saved in that day. You understand? Yeah, you can't run away. At the same time while destruction is coming and those missiles are coming, Yahushua is going to send the angels, Michael, and those chariots, and they're going to take us up. And the Most High said we're going to be beamed up and we're going to be looking. Only with your eyes shall you see the destruction of the wicked. We're going to witness the destruction of this place going up in flames and fire. All right? It's going to be so massive. And as soon as the bombs are at the hit, that's when we're going to be delivered. You understand? So nobody can deliver themselves on, but I got to deliver myself. No, you're going to need the Most High and the angels to deliver you. All that going to be going up, that going out too. Ain't nothing going to be, the Most High says he's going to go underground, he's going to pull them out, he's going to use Leviathan. The Most High is going to use everything. The Most High says he's going to go in the bunk and pull them out. Ain't nobody escaping. They're going to try to hide for a while, but we're going to get them later on. You understand? So this is going to be a massive destruction, man. The Most High said, at that time shall Michael stand up. All right? So at the same time, while we're going to be delivered. In just that nick of a second, we're going to be delivered out of here. All right? So continue playing that. Yeah.
Test than the last time. As a strategy, it makes sense because air defense is expensive business. One Arrow missile that Israel uses, one Arrow missile costs $3.5 million.
They ain't paid for it. They get it from the United States.
Costs $1 million. But Iran's missiles are much cheaper, just $100,000 per shot. So the math works out in Iran's favor. It makes sense to exhaust Israel's defenses. But also remember, Israel has American financial support. Washington will help them restock. Nonetheless, yesterday's attack made a couple of things quite clear. One, Israel's defenses are not impenetrable. With the right weapons and tactics, you can hit them. And secondly, Iran has learned from its last attack, hence the decision to ditch the slow drones and use ballistic missiles. And they have more in stock. Iran is said to have 3,000 ballistic missiles. Only a fraction was unleashed on Israel yesterday. In many conflicts, it may be enough to establish deterrence. But here, it may trigger more attacks.
There's going to be more.
The U.S. election.
All right. So that's it. And the last one, so up the last one.
Chooses its president.
And this is the last one here. Listen good at this here now. This is an Iranian scholar in Iran. Saeed Marandi. Fair use. No copyright infringement, fair use. Now listen good to the British interview and listen to the Iranian guy.
Mohammed Morandi from the University of Tehran joins us now. Thank you very much for being with us, Professor. I just wonder, first of all, what has Iran achieved by this attack on Israel? Very few of the missiles got through. It, in effect, failed. Many people are calling it a humiliation for Iran.
I think that's a lot of wishful thinking on behalf of you and your colleagues at Sky News. It was a massive blow to the Israeli regime. And the history of this conflict doesn't go back to last year. It is 76 years of ethno-supremacism, ethnic cleansing, and this is a racist regime that you support. What the problem is that you cannot recognize that the difference between you and us is that you support racism and racial hierarchy, and we reject it. And the Israeli regime, if they dare strike back at Iran, we will hit them much harder next time. We will beat them into submission.
Well, they will strike back, won't they? No sovereign country can put up with having 180 ballistic missiles fired at them, so they will hit back, they will hit hard, and they could well hit your nuclear facilities, your oil production installations. They could cause Iran serious damage.
Listen, instead of the rhetoric, be real, because you're misleading your own people. Iran has countless underground missile sites with hundreds of thousands of missiles across the country. They were made after the US invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan to deal with a potential war with the United States. So this puny regime, it is not a state, it is a colony. It is a racist, ethno-supremacist colony which people call themselves the chosen people. Unlike you, we do not believe in chosen people. And the Palestinian people on that land who've been displaced and pushed into Gaza and who've been slaughtered regularly over 76 years, we will not stand for that. All people in the whole of Palestine must be equal. The Israeli regime, if they strike Iran, we will hit them much harder next time. And they can pretend that they got away, but we hit them very hard last night. We hit their bases. And unlike the Israeli regime, which constantly carries out slaughter and genocide and is carrying out a Holocaust in Gaza, we struck their military targets because unlike you, we actually care about human rights, not you.
Professor, let me just say that we're on the verge of an all-out war, or certainly a war between Israel and Iran. It could be a war that Iran loses. If Iran does lose that war, do you think that the current Iranian regime could survive a defeat? Because that is if what you say is right, and Iran is going to hit back even harder, that could be where this all ends up.
Iran will not hit back harder. Iran will hit back much harder. The head of the Iranian forces says Iran will target and destroy all of the Israeli regime's infrastructure. This was the tip of the iceberg. Iran will lose no war. The Israeli regime will. It is time for you and others to end your racism and to end your support for the superior race and to accept that all people in Palestine have equal rights and the Palestinian people have a right of return. Jews, Christians, and Muslims are equal. Unlike what you say, they are equal, and we will accept nothing less than that. The regime must go, and all people must be treated equally. And if the only thing, there's no doubt that Israel will lose, but the only variable here is the United States. If the United States gets involved, have no doubt, the U.S. will be swept out of Iraq by the Iraqi resistance, and all its assets in the Persian Gulf will be destroyed. All those regimes that U.S. bases will be destroyed, and the oil and gas markets will cause a situation where the global economy will collapse and millions of people will be on the move. So be careful about making stupid mistakes, and the West should stop with its arrogance and get real for once.
He's right.
Okay, Professor.
See, that was it there. See that there? It came up. It will be a global economical disaster for America,
Professor
man.
Mohammed Morandi from the University of
That's the most.
Yeah. Good thing he didn't say.
As soon as he said America losing its assets, he tried to cut him off?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's one of the realest videos.
Yeah. You understand? You understand? Because he's right. If America goes in, America economy goes down the toilet because Iran is going to hit all the bases they got there, and they're going to close off all the Strait of Hormuz, all those areas, the oil, that's it.
And they did hit them. You CNN showed they hit.
You understand?
Al Jazeera showed they hit so many bases in Israel. Probably say nothing happened.
Right? And once that happens, all the nations going to get involved because once the nations can't get their oil, that's a big fight. Oil is the bloodline to all nations, man. You understand? And America know once that happens, it's all out. It's all out war. And that's why the Most High is going to drag them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yeah. They try to downplay it. They try to downplay it. It's using psyops, using psychological warfare to downplay it. You understand? But I'm going to continue the class next week, Most High willing. I'm going to end the class here. I say shalom. So it's we're in the like I said, we're in the feast of Memorial blowing the trumpets. We're coming up to the high holy days, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Tabernacles, and our Most High will, I'm gonna continue this class next week. And I say shalom to all Israel. And Israel, keep the faith, repent, strive to make it into the kingdom. And all we gotta do is stay focused, keep our eyes on the prize, trust the Most High, believe in the Most High, have faith, and our salvation is on its way. And our enemies are going down. Whom Yasharallah.